What is up, YouTube? It is Docky or Docky Style Gaming, and I am back at it again with another Godfall video for you all today, where we're going to be breaking down the exclusivity with Godfall and the future of content and when we should expect to potentially see some new info with Godfall. So, like I always say, without wasting any more of y'all's time, let's actually just hop straight into this information. So as we've known for a few months now, Godfall's exclusivity was timed, and their exclusivity officially runs out tomorrow. More accurately, May 12th, 2021. And as of time of this recording, it is May 11th. So that's part of the reason why I wanted to make this video. Mainly because potentially we might be hearing something tomorrow. Now, ultimately, I don't think we will, just because of some other stuff that I'll cover later on in this video. But with the exclusivity finally being up on PlayStation, this does mean that now, if it wanted to, it could go to Stadia, it could go to Switch, which I doubt it, or it could, of course, go to Xbox. And there's already been rumblings and rumors about it potentially going to Xbox, along with possibly going to Game Pass as well, which I think would be a great choice and give a bunch of players a chance to play the game. And with the matchmaking officially announced as well, one can only hope that crossplay will be a part of that matchmaking as well, just to increase that player base even more and the pool of players to matchmake with also. But again, like I said, I wouldn't get your hopes up for any real announcement tomorrow. It would be dope if they did, but I'm not really expecting anything, mainly because we are officially now in Q2, which for those of you who have remembered the roadmap, Q2 is when we're going to be getting our first DLC. And honestly, any big reveals or announcements I think would come either around the same time as the DLC or right before they help promote the DLC. So if Godfall is in fact coming to Xbox, we'll probably hear about it closer to the launch or the official release of the first expansion. Now, that being said, now that it is officially May, we are in Q2 this year. Now, potentially we could be getting some information or even the DLC dropping this month, but honestly, I think it might be more likely that we might be getting either something teased or potentially released next month, mainly because that's when we were supposed to have two different gaming events. PAX East, which was canceled, but then also E3 is next month as well, which has now been moved to an online event. And honestly, what better time to release or announce a DLC or something big for your game than at E3, when just about every gamer is watching it all day or looking for new trailers and new something. I think E3 would probably be the best place for them to announce something. Now again, who knows? They could either announce a DLC, they could just announce matchmaking, or they could announce that it's just coming to Xbox. Or honestly, they could announce nothing. I know some people may not think that Godfall might be a big enough game for them to even get a slot at E3, but it'll be interesting to see if they do, and if in fact they do get a slot, what would they announce? And I just had a conversation in the comments section of my last video with somebody asking what would I expect to see with the new DLC and Godfall. And I mean, considering that we've been getting a bunch of relatively good updates that have given us stuff that players have already asked for, now they've got matchmaking confirmed, and with the most recent Primal update, we even got more loot to farm for and new Ascension levels. Hopefully with the DLC, with us getting our characters this strong, there's a reason to use all this power we're obtaining. Now, of course, new loot's always great, but ultimately I'd love to see a new in-game mode, or like I know everybody and their mother is probably thinking, we want a raid. Like, it's one of those things where in a looter you gotta have a raid at some point. At least again, something to make use of how strong we're getting our characters right now with all of these Ascension levels. Now, a raid is wishful thinking, but it would be dope. Of course, there's some quality of life things that I'd like to see fixed still, or at least have them tweak some of the stuff, like letting us be able to increase the levels or have the boss hunts scale to our levels. And then same with some of the open world events, just add some actual events or more activities to it, because there's already a few that you can do, but adding more or having bosses just walk around in the open world for you to kill and attack, just having another place to farm some gear and potentially legendaries would be nice. And then last but not least, of course, a new area, a new realm that gives us new enemies, that also gives us new weapons. That's ultimately what I would like to see. Now, as I mentioned in a video I posted before, when I got to look at some of the concept art, there's a lot of Fire Realm concept art that hasn't been used in the game, and I think that might be where we're headed to next. Even some creatures that aren't in the game as well, along with some weapons that aren't in the game also. So I think it'd be pretty cool, and hopefully that's where we're going next, just because we've got teased teased about it all throughout the life cycle of the game, but we didn't actually get to go there. So it'll be interesting to see how the Fire Realm is, if that's in fact where we're going in the next DLC. And with some of the concept art that was shown that I got to look at and I posted in my video, it's definitely not an area that people I think were expecting when you think of the Fire Realm. It's more gothic and blue fire rather than just orange flames everywhere in a hellscape of a realm. So I think the design of the Fire Realm looks dope if that's in fact where we're going. But then there was also even concept art of the Spirit Realm, which we currently know is where all of the Archons were banished to. So it'd be interesting if we got to go to a whole unique realm and see what all has been banished to that realm. Or like one of the technical producers said, the Skybreaker's monolith can mess around with multiple worlds, realities, and bend time and space itself. So we could go to somewhere completely different and not even be a realm. It could be something completely unique, and that would be interesting to see as well. The possibilities with the Skybreaker's monolith makes DLCs and new areas that they add very interesting in terms of what they can do. But all this to say, if Godfall does show something off relatively soon or for E3, what would you all like to see them add in the game? Or if there's any improvements in the game, what would you like for them to improve on top of the stuff that we already know is coming to the game, like matchmaking? So with that, I'm going to wrap things up. Thank you all for watching. Like always, if you're an Xbox player, are you going to be picking up Godfall if it does in fact drop on Xbox? And if you're one of those people still waiting for some new DLC news or information, again, let me know what you'd like to see when it comes to some of the DLC or just future things you'd like to see added to the game. So again, thank you all for watching. I will catch you all on the next one. Be sure to leave a like if you liked the video. If you didn't, still leave a like. And if you're new to the channel, definitely be sure to sub, because I will be covering Godfall along with a bunch of other games as well. And if you're looking for people to play with on Godfall, Outriders, or just any other game, I do have a link to my Discord as well, where we have LFGs and anybody can hop in and help out. So I will catch you all on the next one. Thanks for the love. Thanks for the subs. Peace.